Welcome to Karma Chronicles. Please like the video and subscribe. Let's begin.
The last time I saw my family was at Grandpa's funeral in rural Iowa. It was one of those crisp mornings, the kind where the air bites at your skin, but you can still smell the damp earth from the rain the night before. The whole town was there, packed into that little chapel with peeling white paint, smelling faintly of old wood and incense. Dean gave the eulogy. At least, he was supposed to. I should have known something was off the second he stood up there. His voice cracked, but not from grief. More like from effort, like he was trying to make sure every word hit the way he wanted it to. He talked about Grandpa, sure, but then, out of nowhere, he took a shot at me. "Victoria, our sister," he said, making sure everyone could hear it. "The outsider who left butchery for some desk job chasing numbers." He paused, like waiting for applause or something. I could feel the eyes on me, hot and uncomfortable. It was like they were all waiting to see if I'd break. I didn't, but inside, it felt like my ribs were cracking, just a little. You think you know what to expect from family, but Dean, he had a way of turning everything into a joke. I just buttoned my jacket tight, like I could hold everything in, even if my hands shook. I was 41 then, and now I'm a senior fraud investigator for the state auditor's office. I specialize in agricultural subsidies, dull, serious work that I've never bothered explaining to my family. They wouldn't get it. It's too quiet. Too private, the kind of thing you don't talk about over a Sunday dinner, you know. My phone buzzes in my pocket, snapping me back to the present. It's a text from my sister. "Call Mom, Cole's been arrested." I freeze. My brain doesn't quite catch up at first, but then it hits me. Cole, Dean's kid. He's caught up in a major fraud ring I've been tracking for 2 years. The same fraud I'm trying to bring down. This isn't a mistake. This is real. I feel it in my stomach, like I've swallowed something heavy and cold. Something that doesn't sit right. My family, my nephew, they're all tangled up in something I've been working to expose, and I'm the one standing in the middle of it. I stare at the phone screen for a second longer than I should. Like maybe I can stop the words from sinking in, but I can't. Cole's name's right there in the arrest report, bolded like a scar. I'm reading the same report that's about to bring everything I've been working on crashing down. Cole's not just involved. He's a primary suspect. The investigation I've spent 2 years building, slowly, carefully, meticulously, has just found its way into my family's lap. The fraud is massive. Millions funneled through fake cattle claims, bogus farmland, phantom farms, and feedlots. But the worst part, the addresses that are supposed to belong to these shell companies, the ones that let these criminals steal from the government, they lead straight back to my family's meatpacking company. I sit down hard, the cold metal of my desk digging into my legs. My chest is tight, too tight, and I can barely take a breath. It's like I've just realized I'm walking through a door I can't shut behind me. Dean, my brother, had been coaching Cole, helping him set up these fake companies, creating a smokescreen to process false payments, getting millions funneled in from the federal government to cover for a scheme that's far worse than I could have imagined. I lean forward, reading the names on the paperwork again, looking for something, anything, that could show this is a mistake. But there's no mistake. The pattern is clear. Dean's fingerprints are all over this, even if he's not listed by name. I know his methods, his game. He's been doing this, and now Cole's in it too. The conflict hits like a freight train. I feel the walls around me closing in, the world tilting on its axis. My professional life, this quiet, serious, private world I've built, has collided with everything I was trying to escape. It's like they're pulling me back into the mess I left behind, into the blood and grit of my family's legacy. I can almost hear Dean's voice in my head now, like a distant echo. That mocking tone from the funeral. The outsider who left butchery for some desk job chasing numbers. I'm not the outsider anymore. I'm right in the middle of this. My phone buzzes again, a text from Kendra asking if I've heard the news. I ignore it. There's nothing to say. I scroll through the report again, looking at the numbers, the figures, the evidence. Every line, every dollar. It's staggering. The scope is so massive, it's hard to wrap my head around it. If Cole's been caught up in this, then that means it's bigger than I thought. Much bigger. And it's only a matter of time before the whole thing blows wide open. I glance at my computer screen. My investigation, the one that's been months of work and sleepless nights, is sitting here. Just one file drop away from being public. And now it's tangled up with my family. The question hits me hard, like a punch to the gut. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? I close my eyes for a second, but it doesn't help. The truth still burns through me, hot and raw. I can't protect them, not from this. I don't even know how to fix this. And I'm not sure I should. This isn't a small mistake, a youthful mistake. This is fraud. This is theft from a system that's meant to help people who need it. And the more I think about it, the more my stomach turns. The more I realize my own blood, my brother, my nephew, are wrapped up in this. I feel like I'm suffocating. I glance down at the paperwork one last time, my fingers gripping the edge of the desk. Everything I've been trying to do, everything I've built, is connected to this family mess. I thought I could leave it behind. But now, it's inescapable. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I know one thing for sure. My life just got a hell of a lot more complicated. I don't know how long I've been sitting there when the buzzing starts. It's relentless, my phone lighting up with one voicemail after another, each one from a different family member. I can't even remember the last time they reached out to me like this. Dean's first message is loud, his voice shaking with that mix of anger and desperation. "Vic, you better call me back. You owe this family after what you've done." The words hit like a slap, like I'm supposed to fix this, to wave a magic wand and make it go away. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get any of it. The next voicemail is from my mom. She sounds so calm, like this is just another problem I can shuffle around. "Vic, you work in numbers. Just shuffle some paperwork around. No one has to know. This doesn't have to be a big deal." I laugh. It's a sound that doesn't even feel like me, and it's gone before I can think about it too much. This doesn't have to be a big deal. She has no idea. Not a single clue about how much is at stake here, or how central I am to it. The phone buzzes again. Kendra. Her voice is breathy, like she's been crying, or maybe just panicking. "Hey, Vic, call me when you can. We need to talk about Cole. This is bad. You can fix it, right?" No, I can't. I run my fingers through my hair, trying to make sense of it all, but nothing clicks. I thought I'd be able to keep this all separate. The family and the job, the numbers and the mess. But now it's all falling apart, and I can't stop it. I look at my phone again, the list of missed calls stretching down the screen. Dean, my mom, Kendra, each one of them asking for help, begging me to fix it. But the scale of the crime, the fraud, the years of work behind it, none of them seem to understand. To them, this is just a youthful mistake, something that can be swept under the rug, forgotten. But I know better. I'm under a gag order until the arrests are finalized. It doesn't matter what my family thinks. I can't talk to them. I can't do anything. All I can do is sit in silence and wait. Wait for the investigation to play out, for the pieces to fall where they will. Dean's voicemail comes through again, and I can hear the urgency in his voice. He's trying to guilt trip me, twisting everything so that I'm the one at fault. "Vic, I know you're busy with your little office job, but this is family. You owe us." I squeeze my eyes shut, swallowing the anger that rises in my throat. I owe them. I didn't choose this. I didn't ask for this mess. I didn't pull Cole into this scheme. I checked the time. It's too early for me to make any calls back, too late to avoid them entirely. I don't want to talk to any of them. Not yet. They don't get it, and if they think they can just sweep this under the rug, they're wrong. This isn't just paperwork. This is a federal case. This is stealing. The voicemail icon blinks again. Another message from Dean. Another demand. Another reminder that my family expects me to make things right. But I'm not their savior. Not this time. The knock at the door startles me, though I should have been expecting it. I'm still sitting in the same spot, staring at my phone like it might give me some answers I already know. I don't even need to check the peephole to know who it is. I already feel the weight of his presence outside. Dean. I don't move right away. I watch him through the window instead, my heart sinking lower with each second. He's standing there in his butcher's apron, the one he wears when he's in the shop, even though it's late in the afternoon. It's worn, the edges frayed from years of use. His boots are caked in mud, like he's been working nonstop. Probably has, the way he always does. He looks stressed, more so than I've seen in a while. His hands are jammed in his pockets, but I can still see the tension in his shoulders. He knocks again. I sigh, trying to calm the anger building up in my chest. When I finally open the door, he's right there, practically spilling over the threshold, like he's always been welcome. "Vic," he says, his voice more desperate than angry. He's not wearing his usual cocky grin, but that same needy, irritating edge creeps into his voice. "We gotta talk." "About Cole. This thing's getting way out of hand, and you—" He stops, notices my silence. The way I'm just standing there, arms crossed, eyes hard. "I know this is big," he adds, the words rushed, but you can fix it. You can pull some strings, make it go away. I know you can do this. You've got the connections, right? I don't say anything. He shifts, glancing over his shoulder, like someone might be listening. It's ridiculous. We're alone here, on a quiet street. But Dean's always been the paranoid one. Please, Vic. You've always been good with numbers. You're in some office now, doing all that boring data stuff. Can't you just shuffle some things around? It's just a small thing, right? A couple bad choices. I let the silence stretch, letting him stew in it because he needs to understand. This isn't a small thing, but I don't think he ever will. He gives me that look, the one he's always had when he's trying to convince me to make it easier for him, the one that says, "You owe me. We're family, after all." I almost can't stand it. The way he's treating this like a quick fix, something that doesn't matter as long as it's swept under the rug. "I don't do data entry, Dean," I say, finally, my voice steady but cold. "And this is not some small thing." His face tightens. "What do you mean, not data entry? You don't—" He stops, confused, then laughs, that awful dismissive laugh. "You're doing what? Some kind of grant paperwork. How much work could that be?" I stare at him, letting the weight of his ignorance settle between us. "What exactly do you think I do?" I ask, calm and pointed. Dean falters, his usual bravado slipping for a second. But it's only for a second. He quickly brushes it off with a wave. "You know, whatever it is, you're just some office job. I figured it was all pretty easy for you." I feel my jaw clench. He has no idea what I do. Not really. He doesn't care. He never has. He just assumes because I don't wear a uniform or carry a knife, that it's all numbers and coffee breaks. He doesn't know the hours I spend going through records, the tightrope I walk, keeping everything clean and under control. "You don't get it," I say, low and sharp. "This is bigger than some office job, and you know it. This is about fraud, about millions of dollars being stolen from the system, and you're asking me to make it go away. Do you even understand what you're asking?" He shifts his weight, suddenly uncomfortable, but still not willing to admit the truth. "I don't know what you're talking about. Just fix it? I didn't mean for any of this to get out of hand. It's just a tax thing, really. Just a little trick we were doing to make ends meet. No harm, right? Just trying to help Cole, you know?" I feel like I've been hit with a cold wave. My stomach drops, and I suddenly want to throw something across the room. "A tax thing," I repeat, my voice rising now. "Do you realize how much money is involved in this? Millions, Dean. And it's not just taxes. This is fraud. This is stealing from federal subsidy programs. This is criminal." I take a step closer to him, not backing down. "I'm not the one who's going to fix it for you. You got yourself into this mess. You and Cole. You helped set this up. These shell companies, all that fake paperwork, it's your fingerprints all over it. Don't try to act like this is something small." Dean's face goes pale, his eyes flickering. "I don't know what you're talking about." "I didn't do anything." I cut him off. "You're lying." His voice shakes now, but his deflection is still there, thick and desperate. "I'm not lying. I didn't know it was going to get this bad. It's just a tax thing, Vic. Nothing more." I take a breath, steady myself. This is it. The final moment when he has to face the truth. "Tell me about Cole's companies," I say, my tone hard, unrelenting. Dean looks away, shuffling his feet, suddenly too interested in the ground. "What companies?" I don't flinch. "The ones you helped him set up. The ones processing fake payments for the livestock fraud." His lips tighten, his eyes darting around, trying to find an escape. But I don't let him. "You can't lie your way out of this, Dean. Not this time." Dean's face is a mixture of confusion and disbelief, his eyes darting between me and the documents I've just shoved into his hands. I've laid out everything. The shell companies, the millions in fraudulent claims, the trail of fake cattle reports, and the money funneled through his business address. It's all right there, in black and white. I watch as his fingers tremble when he flips through the papers. His mouth works like he's trying to find words, but nothing comes. The reality of it hits him slowly, like he's been walking through a fog, and finally, it's clearing up. This isn't real," he mutters, his voice cracking. "This is all just paperwork, right? Just a tax trick, Vic. Nothing criminal. It's a mistake. That's all." I bite back a sharp laugh, staring at him hard. "A tax trick? Are you serious? You didn't just play with some numbers, Dean. You're stealing from the government, from the people who depend on those subsidies. This isn't just a tax trick. His face falls as he begins to grasp the weight of it all. The anger starts to replace his initial denial, but it's not aimed at the fraud. It's aimed at me. This is your fault, he spits, his voice low and accusing. You're the one who's been watching us. Watching me. You've been digging around in our business, in my life, this whole time. I don't let him finish. You didn't think the state was watching you, huh? You didn't think they'd catch on to what you were doing. You've been under investigation for 2 years, Dean. 2 years? His eyes widen, then narrow in disbelief. The color drains from his face as he stumbles back, shaking his head like he can't process it. I step closer, my voice steady, cutting through the silence. The state's been tracking the payments, the phony businesses, the fake claims, the money laundering through your company. And now Cole's in the middle of it. You thought you could hide it forever, but it's too late. This isn't some local mistake. It's federal now. Dean's face twists with a mixture of anger and panic, and I see him trying to piece everything together in his mind, but it's like he's stuck in denial. No, this isn't what I wanted. I didn't want it to go this far. I can hear the crack in his voice. His attempt at defending himself is weak now, and I know he knows it. I pull the documents from his hands and lay them flat on the table between us, my fingers brushing over the bold letters. You wanted to make money off the system, Dean. You thought you could game the system without anyone noticing. And now it's all coming back to you. His eyes flick to the papers and back to me. He doesn't say anything for a long moment, and I can almost hear him struggling to hold it together. Then, just as quickly, the anger flares again. You think you're better than me, he snarls. You think you can just waltz in with your shiny office job and judge me. You don't know what it's like. You don't know how hard it is out there. I did what I had to do. And now you're throwing me under the bus, just like everyone else. You betrayed me, Vic. I feel my chest tighten, but I don't back down. I didn't betray you. You've been calling the shots all this time, Dean. You made your bed, and now you're lying in it. He glares at me, his fists clenching. You used to be a joke to us, you know. Vic's off in some office, working in numbers. You thought you were better than me, better than this family. He throws his hands up, pacing now. And now I'm supposed to beg you to save me. I don't flinch. You never thought I'd be the one who could help, did you? You were always the one with the big ideas, the big mouth, and me. I was just the quiet one. The one you always talked down to. I step forward, my voice sharp and low. Now, you want me to save you after all that? Dean opens his mouth to say something, but I'm already done listening. You're not a victim here, Dean, I add, my voice cold but steady. You're part of the problem, and there's no fixing it. His eyes burn with that old familiar resentment, but it's not enough to stop him from realizing what's at stake now. He knows deep down that he's not walking away from this without consequences. He storms toward the door, his boots slamming against the floor, and without a word, he's gone. I don't move for a while. I let the silence settle in the house, thick and suffocating. He's not coming back to ask for help, and I won't be running after him. Not this time. But it's still not over. Not by a long shot. I don't even know if I want it to be. The phone in my hand feels heavy, like it's pulling me down. I haven't talked to my mom since before Grandpa's funeral, and I know this isn't going to be easy, but I can't keep avoiding it. I hit her number and wait, the buzz in my ear louder than I want it to be. I half expect her to pick up and pretend everything's fine, like she always does, but she doesn't. Victoria, sweetie, where have you been? Her voice is high, the usual warmth laced with that undercurrent of concern I've gotten used to ignoring. We've been worried? Your brother? Mom, I interrupt, steadying myself. I've never been good at this, but I don't have time to be soft. I need to talk to you about Cole. Her tone shifts immediately, that sudden focus I know too well. What about him? Is he all right? He's such a good boy, you know. We've been trying to keep him out of trouble, but you know how he is. I can already hear her getting lost in the narrative she spun for herself, her perfect boy, the one who couldn't possibly be caught up in anything bad. It's easier for her that way. Mom, I say, my voice calm, even if I don't feel calm. He's been arrested. And this isn't just some mistake. He's involved in a major fraud case, the kind I've been working on for 2 years. There's silence on the other end, the kind that makes my stomach drop. Then she speaks, but it's not the words I expect. What do you mean? What's all this fraud stuff? Why would they arrest Cole? He's just a kid, Vic. I close my eyes for a second. I could scream. He's not a kid anymore, Mom. And this isn't some youthful mistake. This is millions of dollars being funneled through false claims. They've been stealing from the federal agricultural subsidies, and I'm the one who's investigating it. Another silence. I can feel her trying to catch up to the words I'm saying. She's never liked it when I had the facts on my side. You? She asks, like she's trying to place the words. You're the one who's investigating it, but you've always been the quiet one, the one who kept to herself. I thought you were just working with numbers, making sure things stayed in line. I breathe out slowly. I am working with numbers, Mom. But it's a little more than just staying in line. I'm the lead investigator on this case, the one who's been tracking all the fraud, the fake businesses, everything. The operation is called Hollow Hoof. She's quiet again, so quiet. I think the line's gone dead for a moment. When she finally speaks, her voice is tight, strained. Hollow Hoof, she repeats, like it's a foreign language to her. What kind of name is that? I didn't know you were doing all this. You're really one of them now, aren't you? I feel a coldness spread through me, even as I try to swallow it down. One of who? One of those people who takes down your own. I never thought you'd be like them. You're my daughter. You were supposed to help, to make everything easier, not turn against us like this. I stand there, my hand gripping the phone so tight it's starting to hurt. I don't know what I was expecting from her, but this wasn't it. Mom, I start, but I can't finish the sentence. The words feel like they're lodged in my throat. There's nothing left to explain. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand how far this has gone, how deep it is. And maybe she never will. Vic, she says, her voice softer now, but colder. I never thought this is what you'd become. I thought you'd always be our little girl. But I guess I was wrong. I'm not sure what to say to that, so I don't say anything. Then, just like that, the line goes quiet again. I hear her exhale, the sound muffled but final. I have to go, she says, her voice flat. You really are one of them now. And then she hangs up. The click of the phone in my ear feels like a door slamming shut, and I don't know if it's the distance between us or the weight of what's happened, but I feel smaller than I did before. I stand there staring at the phone in my hand, letting her words echo through my head. I used to think that no matter what, she'd always have my back, but now I'm not so sure. I take a deep breath and set the phone down on the counter. There's work to do. And that hasn't changed. The press conference room is buzzing with energy when I step inside. The air is thick with anticipation. Reporters jockeying for the best angles, cameras flashing like fireworks. The cold, sterile walls of the state capitol only add to the tension. Sharp, gray, and unforgiving. I'm standing next to the Attorney General, USDA investigators, and the state auditor. Their polished smiles are practiced, rehearsed. Me. I keep my hands folded in front of me, my eyes forward. If I let myself look around too much, I'll get distracted. This isn't about me. Not really, but it is. The microphones are waiting, poised to catch every word. The crowd quiets as the state auditor takes the stage, his voice steady as he gives a brief rundown of the investigation. It's all technical, cold, but when he announces my name, Victoria Stone, lead auditor and architect of the investigation, the room seems to pause for a second. All eyes are on me. I feel the weight of them, but I don't look away. Cameras click like machine gun fire, and I force myself to stay still, to keep my composure. My heart's not racing, but there's a tightness in my chest, a small knot of something. It's pride, it's fear, it's everything at once. I'm here, in this moment. The job I've worked for, built from the ground up, is finally paying off. But then the questions start. A reporter from a local outlet raises her hand first, her voice cutting through the stillness. Ms. Stone, how long has your department been investigating this fraud ring, and how deep does it go? I keep my answer simple. This investigation has been ongoing for 2 years, and we're confident that this is just the beginning. The fraud spans multiple states and involves more than $42 million in stolen agricultural subsidies, fake cattle reports, and forged inspections. We are continuing to investigate all leads. Another question from a reporter I don't recognize. Can you confirm that this fraud ring was linked to any prominent businesses or even families? I let the question hang in the air for a beat. We have gathered substantial evidence that connects this operation to various businesses within the agricultural industry. However, due to the ongoing investigation, I cannot comment on specific names or entities at this time. I don't mention Dean. I don't mention Cole. Not even once. It's hard, but I've made my choice. I'm doing my job, and I won't let personal connections taint what's right. But I can't help but notice that one local paper from my hometown. They've been staring at me since the moment I walked in. Their photographer is snapping away, the lens focused intently on me, and I can almost hear the questions they're not asking, the ones they already know the answers to. The truth is out there. My family's name is already tied to the scandal, even if no one's willing to say it aloud. They've connected the dots. It feels like 100 eyes are on me, waiting for me to crack, to show some hint of weakness. But I don't. I stay steady, answering the questions in a voice that sounds calm and professional, even though inside I'm anything but. Another reporter, this time from a major national news outlet, pushes forward. Miss Stone, how did you stay so focused on this case, knowing that your family was involved? My stomach tightens. This is the question I've been waiting for, the one I didn't know how to answer. I clear my throat before speaking. My focus was on the facts, the evidence. It doesn't matter who's involved. This case was about doing what was right, and that's what I've done. The question lingers in the air for a second, and I know it's not over. But I've said my piece, and no one can take it back. A few more questions follow, but I don't pay as much attention to them. My mind keeps drifting back to my family, to Dean, to Cole, to the way they've always expected me to clean up their messes, the way they think I'm still the same quiet, easy target I used to be. But I'm not that person anymore. The press conference wraps up quickly after that. The questions die down, the cameras start to move, and people file out of the room, their whispers lingering behind them. I stay where I am, watching the crowd disperse. For a second, I almost feel the weight of my family's judgment in the air, even if they're not here. But I'm not going to let it control me. Not anymore. I turn to leave, the door in front of me wide open. There's more to do, more work to finish, and I'm ready to get back to it. The door clicks shut behind me, and I step inside my house, finally alone. The weight of the day is still there, heavy like I'm carrying it with me, but it's quieter now. The noise of the press conference, the flash of cameras, it all fades once the door's closed. But then my phone buzzes again. I've been avoiding it, but now I have to check. There's no getting around it. I open it, expecting the usual flood of work-related messages, but instead, it's family. The first voicemail is from my cousin Erin. Her voice is almost too upbeat, like she's trying to act like she's not shocked. Hey Vic, you made state news. Seriously, are you going to be on 60 Minutes next? That's huge. She laughs, but it's thin, forced, the kind of laugh that's just trying too hard to sound happy. I delete it. The next is from my Aunt Carla. She sounds impressed, almost like she's been holding back judgment until now. I never thought you'd be the one, but look at you. The one who's making history. Proud of you, Vic. This whole thing's bigger than we thought, huh? I delete that one too. Then my dad. His voicemail is quieter than usual, almost like he's unsure of what to say. I can hear him shuffling papers in the background, maybe trying to act normal. We didn't know you were doing all that. We thought. He trails off, and for a moment, I think he's going to leave it at that. But then, almost like it's an afterthought, he adds, I'm proud of you, Vic. We're just a little surprised. I can't help but stare at the screen for a second. He's never been one for words, but this feels different. And I'm not sure what I expected, but I definitely didn't expect this. I delete it. Then, the final one. Dean. At first, I don't know if I even want to hear it. I'm not ready for whatever he has to say. But the message plays anyway, his voice softer than I've ever heard it. It's like he's actually trying for once, and I can't decide if it's too late for that. Vic, he starts, his voice low, cracked. I was wrong about you. I didn't know what you were really doing all these years. You were always so quiet, you know? I just thought you were just, I don't know, off doing whatever. But I see now. I see what you've built. He pauses, the line going quiet for a moment. I was wrong. And I'm sorry. I sit there, staring at the screen. My finger hovers over the delete button, but I don't press it. Not yet. I can't decide. I don't know what I expected from him. Certainly not an apology, but there it is. The one thing I never thought I'd hear. But the more I listen, the more it feels like a performance. He's not really apologizing, is he? He's just realizing he needs me, realizing that the world's changed, and so has his view of me. That's what this is about. Not guilt, not understanding, just self-preservation. I press delete. The phone falls quiet again. I didn't need those messages. Not really. I already know where I stand. The family that used to tell me I wasn't good enough for them, that I'd never measure up, that's the family who's now trying to latch on to me. Now that I'm useful, I breathe out slow and steady and let the weight of it settle. It doesn't hurt as much as I thought it would. And it doesn't feel like forgiveness either. I don't want to be part of their narrative anymore. The one where they tell me what I should be. What I should do. I grab my coat and head toward the door again. There's more to do. There's always more to do. And maybe, for the first time in a long time, I'm okay with that. I walk into the office early, the building still quiet. The low hum of the fluorescent lights the only sound in the hallway. The city outside hasn't fully woken up yet, and for a moment, it feels like I'm the only one here. I reach my desk and stop, surprised by the stack of thank you letters waiting for me. A few are from the governor, one from the auditor general, and even a hand-signed note from a senator, all praising the investigation, the work I've done. My fingers graze over the paper, smooth and official, the kind of letters you get when you've done something important. Before I can even sit down, one of my colleagues walks by, a wide grin on his face. "That was some takedown," he says, giving me a quick pat on the back. "You made history, Vic. They won't forget this one." I offer a small smile, a nod of acknowledgement, but I don't say anything. I don't need the praise, not really. There's too much else on my mind to get caught up in the compliments. I drop my coat onto the back of the chair and check my inbox. Another email catches my eye. It's from the small-town paper back home, the one that's been running stories about the case since it hit the news. The subject line reads, "Local woman leads major state investigation." I open it, scanning the words quickly. The article's short, focused on me, the local girl who made good. But even with the glowing words, I can't shake the feeling that it's all just a distraction from the real picture. They don't mention Dean or Cole, of course. They never do. But I see the headline, and I think about the look on my mother's face when I told her what I did. I can still hear her voice. "You really are one of them now." I sit back, the letters in front of me still untouched. A quiet satisfaction settles in my chest. It's not the kind of satisfaction that makes you want to celebrate. It's something else, something solid and calm. For a second, I let my mind wander, back to Grandpa's funeral. I can still see his worn hands, his pride in his trade. I remember the way he'd looked at me, like I was the one who didn't belong, even if he never said it out loud. Maybe that's where this started. Maybe he didn't believe that the work I did, numbers, paperwork, quiet hours behind a desk, could ever matter as much as the sweat and blood he poured into his butcher's block. But here I am, standing in the wake of everything that's happened. The truth, in the end, is what I've always chosen. Not numbers, not family, not the messes they wanted me to clean up. I whisper to myself, barely audible, I didn't choose numbers over family. I chose the truth. The words feel right, even if they sting a little. I sit up straighter, ready to keep moving, to keep working. There's no time to waste, no time to get caught up in what everyone else thinks. I've done my job, and now I'm going to finish it. I click on the next email, already thinking about what's next.